5 full days on the bike, so you need a reasonable level of fitness.
People buy our bikes because they're capable of, taking the more extreme route.
Impressive where this bike can bring you. Yeah. For me as just an average rider,
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
The majestic landscape attracts those who seek the unknown. The beauty of nature captivates explorers, climbers, extreme athletes, and tourists. But there's a new breed of adventurer gathering around the world: the rally rider. We are everyday people who choose to explore by motorcycle. It's our way of life, our common ground in distant lands. We come as strangers, as friends, from every corner of the world.
So, keep left, okay?
I'll try.
Last year I actually joined the rally, so it was really tough but quite enjoyable. That's why I decided to come again.
You can't miss it.
No way.
Chris Barnard.
That's it.
What are you doing here?
It's fun, mate. I'm going to ride this bike, hopefully and get to Queenstown in 5 days.
We are here in New Zealand to join the greater KTM family in their global adventure rally campaign, which spans 6 countries. Leading the charge is KTM's Queen of Adventure, Rosie Lalonde.
So it's really great to see, the orange adventure spirit is really there, and it's all because of you guys. So honestly, I cannot thank you enough.
We also have a special guest joining this ride.
KTM's official adventure ambassador, but he's just a guy from Auckland for us. Mr. Chris Burke, to the back of the room there.
This is a place you need to experience on a motorcycle, and 120 riders are about to do exactly that for the 2nd annual KTM New Zealand Adventure Rally. Some are nervous, most are excited, but everybody is ready for adventure. We're straight into a big day with 287 kilometres for the main route, or an additional 16 kilometres if you take the more extreme breakout route. I'll show you those a little later. For our international guests, like this group of Americans, KTM provide a fleet of hire bikes, which gives riders the option of the 690R or the 1090R. For those who are new to adventure riding, the smaller 690R is a more familiar package. But for those who are looking to gain more experience in terms of the power, comfort and fuel range of a big twin-cylinder engine, in my opinion, KTM's 1090R is the most thoroughbred adventure bike available today. But I'll tag along with Birchie for a while and let you see for yourself what the bike is capable of. Adventure riding hasn't just come into fashion. It's been around for as long as motorcycles have. It's just that the interpretation is changing, and the bikes are now being manufactured to handle the greater expectations of the rider. Those breakout routes I mentioned, we're about to enter the first one of the rally. The number one rule of adventure etiquette is to close gates behind you.
It's going to be interesting getting started.
The problem with this gate though is its positioning on the steepest part of the climb.
Work.
Getting moving again could be a struggle for riders.
Yeah, people having to stop here.
In true David Attenborough style, I wanted to close the gate and capture the natural struggle of riders stopping and starting on the ascent. But Birchie, being the great ambassador he is, opted to station himself there and let as many riders as possible pass through the gate without stopping.
What's happening, team?
Good.
You pretty happy with this section?
Yeah.
How's the old, what is that, a 990?
950.
950.
She's an oldie. 04.
The old Dakar Warhorse.
We snow kited up here.
Snow kite? What's a snow kite?
Snow kite.
You know, kite with a board.
Oh, that's like the...
It's kite surfing, but chuck a
like
snowboard
kite surfing, but you're on a snowboard.
Yeah, mate.
You guys are like adrenaline junkies.
Awesome. How good's the weather? Imagine this if it was low cloud, like watery shit. Not only would it be greasy, you wouldn't be able to see shit.
Well, speaking of shit, just turn your head a bit. You've got a big glob of what looks to be sloppy paddock roost all over your helmet. Who was it?
Will quarantine be okay with that?
Who was that from?
Any one of these gentlemen here, I'd suggest.
Gentlemen.
In the creek crossing about 100 yards into the breakout.
They still qualify as gentlemen.
Have a look at this unit here.
There he is.
Okay, while Birchie demonstrates how to wheelie around a corner, let me tell you something about Mount Cook, which remains New Zealand's highest peak, despite a massive piece of it breaking off in 1991. The height was reduced by 10 metres when about 12 million cubic metres of rock and ice fell off the northern peak. After 2 decades of the exposed ice cap eroding, the height has reduced to 3,724 metres, the last recorded height of Mount Cook.
Exactly, yeah.
The views are so spectacular, it's hard not to take your eyes off the trail and check it out. Steering offline isn't an option though. Your bike would cartwheel a long way down if you went over the edge.
There's that word again.
We're riding an epic trail called the Staircase Saddle, which meanders alongside Lake Benmore, a 1.25 billion cubic metre reservoir.
My cup, I must have taken it out already. Oh, here we go.
Who popped this tyre anyway?
That guy right there.
There's always one in the crowd.
Said the Aussie.
Well, you're not going to share with an Aussie.
Oh, cheers, yeah, cheers. I've got one left. Here I go.
Oh, thanks, buddy. You're a champion.
Yeah.
Cheers.
No, I've got none.
Oh, you're joking. I tell you what. I'll go halves with you.
There's a whole lot of them. Here we are.
Pill aid with caffeine.
It's articulate speech. No, but it's natural food. It's no additives. And yeah, people that get gut problem, it's for endurance out there. It's not for old fellas like me.
An interesting bunch for sure. Flat tyres or breakdowns is a great way to meet new people.
Might have been 3 chilies, but I was a fucking full jalapeno inside my helmet.
What can you tell me about NZ, bro?
Well, I can tell you, I haven't seen much of this bit before.
Really?
I'm from Wellington, so oh shit, I'm not supposed to say that.
Why?
Because these guys are all from around here. I'm not.
So they don't like your kind in these parts?
No, not at all.
Why? About as welcome as an Aussie.
Yeah. Did you see some wallabies on the ground?
Now, what's that all about? I saw a couple of dead wallabies. I had no idea they were even in there.
Yeah, no, there's shitloads up and through there. They're a real
were they introduced like?
Yeah, something an Australian would have bought them. Like
rats off the boat?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, it's the American dream team.
Approaching the second breakout, it's obvious some riders are content to stick with the main route, but it's good to see our American riders are seeking the more adventurous option.
Oh, they're doing it! They're doing it! They're going the breakout.
River crossings are a great challenge. You've really got to let your bike do the work for you, especially when you're on a big rig like the 1290 Super Adventure. What's more impressive about this scene, the rider has a slow leaking front tyre from a dented rim after hitting a rocket speed. But we can fix that.
That's really straight.
Come on, mate. Hit it. Put a proper hit. Let's do this.
While you're at it. I reckon they might just about seal. Day's motorcycling.
Well, the day's motorcycling isn't even over. How many of those have you put away?
It's just enough to give us confidence.
Pizza's asking, really.
I'm from Israel, he's from United States, and we are all from Israel originally.
Champions, and you made it all the way to New Zealand for this ride?
To participate, of
course.
course.
Did you participate well today?
We did try.
We had a tough day, but we enjoyed every single minute.
And what are you riding? The
I'm riding
1090R? What are you riding?
I ride the legendary 690.
The legendary 690.
Yeah.
Any war stories, my friend?
Oh, just a front tyre.
Just a front tyre?
Front tyre and a few creek crossings, that's about it really.
Stirring up the Kiwis, weren't you?
We were stirring the Kiwis, yes, very true.
Yeah?
I'd have to say though, my nose started to bleed from the elevation that we were getting up on the first breakout.
High.
Yeah.
Bit high.
It was bloody high.
So James, can these Kiwis ride or what?
In the Kiwis?
Yeah.
I reckon they're Fruit Loops.
They're Fruit Loops,
These blokes, there's old fellas, I'm not mentioning names, there's blokes out there with big beer guts, puffing on cigarettes, and they're on the breakout loop. And I'm thinking, what the hell are they doing here? Oh, beauty!
What do we got here?
Nectar of the Gods.
Like resume play from about 11 PM, 12 PM last night.
Right, yeah.
What's the count so far? How many have we got left out there?
About 20.
20 to go?
Yeah, about 20.
Bringing it home.
Bringing it home.
That's tougher than I expected, and then I
good experience.
Yeah, good experience. That's true.
Did you do both of the breakouts?
We did the first one.
Yeah.
The second one we're going to do, and we're just tired, man.
Yeah.
We were really tired, and Nate got a flat tire, and that took a while to sort out. And we're here though.
You're here, mate. Look, Montius Brewery,
Yeah, man.
Bar, Alexandra.
Good evening. I'm back. I'm back. Wow. Day one. Who had a good time on day one of the Southern Alps Rally?
Yeah, awesome day.
Awesome. I think give it up one more time for Mr. Joe Forsyth. Those tracks were epic.
Joe Forsyth, a stalwart of New Zealand's enduro community and this year's course designer, telling it like it is.
It is a fairly long rutted dirt track. We're going to have ruts in it. There'll be rocks in it. There'll be some boggy sections in it.
And while riders' briefing continues into the night, our sweep riders finally roll into town.
I need to hear this,
We
GK.
made it,
We need to hear what went down out there, mate.
It was an adventure.
Well, we're about 5 beers in,
I thought you would
washed.
We managed to
Dinner's
find a bit
done.
of whiskey on the side of the trail, so we're not too bad.
You're only just bringing it home, but hey, good way to make a living, huh?
Yeah, great day.
Oh, look at that, eh? Unreal. How good's that?
You earned it, mate. I heard a bike running before. Was that this?
Yes.
Are you back in the game?
Hopefully, but not allowed to go on breakouts.
No, you banned.
I told him, they said I'm a sweep, and they only gave me a broom, not a shovel, so he can't go on breakout. No, he'll be right. He'll be
You
right.
got that? Banned from breakouts.
Yeah.
For one day.
For one day.
Dean Herbert.
Yes, sir.
What's the situation?
Oh, I'm just checking for dust, just seeing it's clean underneath. You know?
Very particular about your motorcycle.
Oh, very
isn't it?
particular. Yeah, I'll get the pledge out in a minute and we'll give it a wee rub down and we'll be off.
Good morning, Ray.
How are you, Adam?
I'm good, thank you.
How's the 1190 standard going for you?
The workhorse in standard trim, you know what? It's getting the job done.
I like it, I've got to say. I just had a look at it then with you on it. It looks fairly tough.
Today's going to be a big one. 373 k's on the breakout route or 313 kilometres on the main route. Either way, there's going to be plenty of action as we head through the central Otago Ranges.
Good morning.
The American team are continuing to live the dream, soldiering on in perfect formation and navigating the terrain with military precision. They're not here to set the world on fire, just a few good mates having a great ride. We roll into the old Serpentine Church, a symbol of Otago's goldfield heritage.
Just hold up here for the night. We got any booze? Yeah, we do. We're freaking burned down. We had a great time in here. Little F shack.
Fire up the stove. You're not going to perish in here in the winter.
It's an evocative memorial to the hardiness and enterprise of the pioneers that travelled and worked these desolate surroundings. Handling your own bike and choosing your own lines is ideal. But what about when you've got a pillion? This happy Kiwi couple are getting it done on all the breakout routes.
Stephen Maxton.
Here we go.
Where are you from, mate?
Te Puke, Kiwi fruit capital of the world.
Te Puke. Are you a New Zealander, Kiwi bro? Yeah.
And what the hell, another birchy wheelie on the 1090R.
Take two, it's the same old team.
Yeah, same old team.
You got somebody else to change your tyre this time.
Well, you're running in it.
What brings you to this town, mate?
KTM.
KTM? Do you own one?
I do. I've got a few of them actually.
Yeah?
Collection. Thanks to him.
What's your favourite? What are you actually riding in this again?
950 Super Enduro.
950 Super Enduro. Yeah. I bet you like to turn the throttle too.
We do.
What's your story?
My story? Like riding bikes, like riding KTMs.
Yeah?
That's why we're here.
What have you got?
950 Super Enduro.
950 Super Enduro. Get on board with the Red Bull team. Let it slide, Jeff, let it slide. Come on, Benji, get up here, get up here. Come on, hunt him down, Jeff. Hunt him down. Yeah, that's it.
So the rider in front of me is none other than KTM Australia's General Manager, Jeff LEISK. LEISK is the boss man down under. He stays sharp in business by staying sharp on the products he sells.
Hotline.
Cheers, bro.
Just what you needed, eh?
Do I?
A dart.
I need 5.
Bit tough out there for you, was it? Bit tough today?
It was tough, yeah.
Yeah?
Very.
Well, you're in one piece.
It's got 60 PS on it.
60?
Yeah.
Just what I need for those drifting roads. No, it looks good. Hopefully that'll last more than 2 days.
I hope everybody had a fantastic day too. From what it looked like, wow, the weather was perfect. Not too hot, not too sunny, and it sounded like the tracks were absolutely epic. So obviously you have been to the Italian event in July, and you did go to Canada, so come on. Of course we're the best, but we want to hear from you.
Yeah, it's interesting, like going to these different events around the world, how the concept is interpreted differently. And I'll be honest, I'm not talking it up. The rest of the world is looking at New Zealand and Australia and going, oh man, I wish we could do that. Italy was great, but one day we did like 80 kilometres, but it didn't matter because we were in Italy and there's awesome food and everyone's having a great time.
Smooth gravel roads, I suppose, that were sort of very enticing, you know, very hard on the rear tyre.
Yeah, you left half your rear tyre out there.
Yeah, so
but,
no.
Good memories, good experiences.
Yeah, just so good that you want to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
tyres permitting.
Well, you are.
Yeah.
We've still got today and 3 more days of this.
I know. I think
I think it's going super well. I mean, the feedback last night, you could tell in the room at dinner that there was a heightened level of energy, so
Yes.
that's always a good sign.
Absolutely.
Today is a loop day out from Cromwell with 4 breakout routes. Right now we're in the Bendigo breakout. If you follow the main route, it's only 180 kilometres long, but for riders who are feeling fit and ready for a challenge, doing all 4 breakouts will extend your route to 281 kilometres. Into the second breakout, it's a rare experience to be riding above the clouds. This epic landscape is like a scene from Lord of the Rings, with an adventure bike trail running right through the middle of it. Three days into the adventure and riders are really in the zone with their bikes. The pace has lifted and their confidence is high. But this is usually when riders start finding their limits. Let me introduce you to Francois, a South African turned Kiwi who's having a ball on his 1190R. Right in tow, his mate Ales is keeping it together a little easier on the 1090R. 2 mates, 2 different machines, and 2 completely different riding styles.
Oh, I love your dramatic soccer style crashes, it's awesome. So many gates in this country.
Agriculture is New Zealand's primary industry, and while the Kiwis have worn their fair share of sheep jokes, they are actually a powerhouse in the cattle and dairy industry, producing 3% of all the milk in the world. They are the world's largest exporter of dairy products and are the 8th largest milk producer worldwide. Last breakout of today is Old Woman Range to the Nevis Crossing. I'm flat out on my horn right now in hope the rider ahead at the gate will wait just 10 more seconds to let me through.
Thanks, mate.
Good on him for waiting. He was basically closing the gate to get going on his merry way.
What do you got there?
11.90.
Old 11.90.
11.90, eh? With all the fruit.
Chris's old bike.
Birchie's old bike.
Yeah, for the, what is it called? The hut.
The what?
Bike.
You called it the what?
Famous footage off YouTube of him riding it into the hut.
Oh, this is the one he took up to the hut.
Yeah, through the mud.
Why the hell did you buy it?
It was a reasonable price.
We're from the other island.
The other island? What happens in the other island?
This is the mainland.
Yeah. They refer to the south as the mainland,
yep.
And the north is just an accessory.
Yeah. Where all the money's made.
Yeah, well that's the point.
So what can you tell me?
Yeah, we've done a bit of Nevis and we've done a loop back down again. Now we've got to slowly make our way back, don't we?
You're right into this adventure shit, aren't you?
It'd be hard not to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Especially with a good bunch of buggers like these guys.
Yeah.
Good blokes, you reckon?
No, I think he's drugged. You've got to have a reasonable farm bike in New Zealand.
Yep.
Fast cattle.
That's a pretty serious farm bike.
Yeah. Well, we're serious farmers in New Zealand.
Have you done one of Birchie's schools?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does he know his shit?
He seems to have got the basics sorted out pretty well.
You getting sick of changing to bloody tyres yet?
Oh, a little bit. You can see the line up there, can't you? Thanks, mate.
It's a big lineup.
I'm not looking, I'm just changing.
Yeah, you won't be able to come up for air for quite some time. Now tell me,
Yeah?
given that you're from the mother company, does it do you proud to see the machines out there just copping a beating and loving it?
Yeah, super proud. Of course, it's amazing. Also for myself, you know, with the 1090R, it's impressive where this bike can bring you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's,
I mean,
yeah.
for me as just an average rider, you know,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Shut the door.
Didn't you have a beer in your mouth about 2 seconds? Look at you, like a bunch of kids on school camp.
Oh, what a day.
Did everybody hear me? We're back. Who had a great day today? That was okay. Fair enough. Everyone's full and kind of tired, and I know we're late, so my apologies. Alrighty. Other than that.
Rounding out the day, we're treated to a dinner at a private racetrack facility, complete with a museum of old and new race cars.
Can you give us a Team USA update, my friend? Day 4. What do you got?
Just kicking ass.
Just kicking ass.
Just kicking ass.
Tell me just a little bit about you and your team.
You know, well, we're just normal guys like everybody else. Normal guys with huge dicks.
You don't mind being the pillion? Can you ride yourself?
Pretty unsafe rider.
Okay.
Wheel stand in any gear, so probably better that I'm on the back.
day 4, first breakout, and we're living the adventure bike dream. The trails across this mountain range are more spectacular than they are challenging, but I suspect that's about to change. While it may look like these riders have zero concern for the guy who binned it, trust me, it's every man for himself when it comes to tricky hills. Just get yourself and the bike to the top first, walk down and help other riders second.
You're right with you, last one. What seems to be the problem, my friend?
Side stand switch.
Otherwise, how's your rally going, mate?
Awesome, awesome. Best fun I've ever had. Cool bike, loving it.
You reckon you'll go in?
I don't know about that.
Fairly high velocity water there.
Yeah, right. No, I think I might just dabble the toes in a little bit.
Play
And,
it safe.
Play it safe,
In
mate.
the torrent. That's a big feed. Have you earned it?
It's a big trip, so yeah.
What brings you to New Zealand?
I followed a woman here originally, but just this weekend it's the KTM Adventure Rally
Yeah.
down in picturesque central Otago.
You sell these things now, huh? You got your own shop?
Yep, that's right. Traction Motorcycles, Christchurch.
Yeah.
We're a KTM dealer over there. And so this is my first adventure ride ever, so I figured if I'm selling them, I need to know what they go like. So, yeah, this is product testing #1.
And just easing into it, you opted for the 690. Bit more what you used to in the off-road game.
Yeah, essentially I'm a off-road rider, so the 690 was an easy way to get some exposure without the freakiness of a big bike.
Yep. Got a unique one here. This is a road version.
1090S.
Yep, don't get them in Aussie.
No.
Quite special over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any reason you chose to ride that model?
I got short legs.
Yeah.
It's got little wheels.
Ah, a bit
so
lower.
a hell of a lot closer to the ground, especially for them stream crossings.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Not that it helped much.
No.
Took a couple of swims.
Yeah, riding these amazing KTM adventure bikes.
Yeah?
Bringing them here. Yeah.
Amazing, are they? Is that because you sell them?
No, well, to be honest, I hadn't done a lot of adventure riding before this trip.
Yep.
Just a couple of little wee rides here and there, but I'm absolutely blown away with where these things will go. And
capability.
Yeah, the capabilities. Like, I was a little bit sort of nervous at the start as far as you know, the weight of the machine and stuff, but
yeah.
It's been an absolute blast, loving it. I've done a lot of racing over the years, motocross and cross country and beach racing, things like that. So yeah, had a bit of an injury about a year ago and had a bit of time off the bikes, just getting back into it, and this is a pretty good way to start.
Day 5, final leg of the rally. Some riders take a different approach on this day and take it real easy to make sure they get to the end, while others prefer to squeeze every last bit of enjoyment out of the trail and stay on the pace. In my experience, it's better to treat the last day no different to the first and just ride how you ride. After 5 days though, you start to ride the big twin cylinder like it's a 450cc enduro bike. And you can't help but hunt down the riders in front of you. Here we go. It's one of the unofficial Red Bull KTM Australia team on their obsolete 990 adventure. And if I know Dan Perkins, he's not going to let me pass that easy. As the 2017 KTM New Zealand Adventure Rally draws to a close, the main route takes us back through the Nevis range for one last taste of adventure. And once again, I find myself caught up with the Red Bull boys. I'm not sure why, but there seems to be a cult following of these old 990s in the rally. I think I need to find out what's going on.
What's all the fuss about?
Well, they do everything you want a bike to do. They go to amazing speeds and they cover any country.
39, the Dan Perkins Warhorse, hey? Whoa, that's a different beast.
Well, what can I say? Nice ride down. The 990 is just a big old dirt bike that carries the spirit of adventure in true KTM rally style. It's this off-road motorcycling heritage that brings riders together as a family to share our experiences from all over the world and celebrate all the great memories made along the way.
Full factory, so this is the one that we can take a look at, obviously, all your bikes. And there's some very, very nice looking bikes out there. But there were some that stood out. I think they like it this way, I'm not gonna lie. Stood out a little bit from the rest of them. Let's get up here the Red Bull KTM Australia team of Alex and Jeff.
We just love riding with a group, and if we go past and someone gets stuck, we're in to help.
The longest ride award, Kali and Rafi from Israel. And the next one we got is the Choice Road. Joe Forsyth.
These girls I've ridden with Eva.
Next one is the Kamikaze Kid. Kamikaze Kid. So at the end of the day, we do not condone or endorse crashing, but sometimes it's really funny. Francois, come on over here. Where are my billion passengers? The Karens, come on up here. Ken, how you doing out there? Do you like New Zealand?
Yeah, it was great. So we had to be somewhat polite, not be the rude American, so we had to let people pass us.
Mate, it's all happening. It's been awesome, mate.